Build your dreams, live rich, and leave rich.
As parents, we think a lot about the legacy we're going to leave. We want our kids to be secure, of course. But what if the greatest gift we can give them isn't an inheritance, but an internal compass? A mindset that lets them navigate any storm and build a truly rich life all on their own terms. Okay, let's dive into this. All right, get ready for this because it's a big one. 92%. That's how much family wealth has completely vanished by the time the grandkids take over. It's that old saying, shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves, but with actual data to back it up. And it's a huge red flag that just leaving money to our kids, well, it isn't the real answer. So if just handing over cash isn't the legacy, then what is? We have to break that cycle. And the answer really is in a huge shift. We have to stop teaching our kids to chase money and start teaching them how to create value. We build a heritage in them, a legacy of capability, of confidence, and of character. Now, this means we have to completely change how we look at and talk about money in our own homes. And it all starts with a simple but really powerful truth. Money is not the goal. It's just a byproduct. The real goal is to become a person of value. I want you to think of money as just a tool, kind of like a receipt. It's this neutral, predictable thing that just shows up after you solve a problem for somebody else. When this finally clicks, the whole conversation changes. The question our kids learn to ask themselves shifts from, how can I get money, to, hey, what problem can I solve? And that simple change, right there, it changes their entire future. And value, well, it's not just one thing. There's material value. That's a product or service you provide. But just as important is emotional value, the way you encourage people, the way you lead, how you make others feel seen. And then there's spiritual value, which is about connecting what you do to a purpose that's way bigger than just you. A truly rich life has all three of these. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually do this at the kitchen table? Let's get practical. We're going to walk through a framework called the home economy system. And trust me, this is the perfect antidote to that sense of entitlement that a simple allowance can so often create. So the system has three parts, the three E's. First up, expectations. These are the unpaid things you do just for being part of the family team, making your bed, helping with the dishes. Think of it as your rent. Second, expenses. This is where you start passing responsibility for certain costs, like their toys, their tech, going out with friends, over to your child. This is what creates the motivation for the third E, extra pay. These are paid opportunities, or gigs, for creating value that's above and beyond your normal expectations. And this is the light bulb moment. The home is no longer just a place where they consume things, it becomes a lab for contribution. Your child stops being a consumer, always asking, what can I get, and starts becoming a creator, looking around and asking, where can I add value? I'm telling you, that mindset is an unfair advantage for life. So what do these extra pay gigs even look like? Well, you can start simple with action gigs. These create real physical value, and we frame it that way. Cooking a meal isn't just a chore, it's about nourishing the family. Organizing the garage isn't just cleaning, it's about creating order and making things work better for everyone. But this is where it gets really, really powerful. You introduce what we call brain gigs. This teaches the most important lesson of all. Your mind is your greatest asset. Asking your team to plan the family vacation isn't just busy work. It's about budgeting, researching, making trade-offs. It proves to them that their intellect has actual, real-world monetary value. This whole system, though, isn't just about money or gigs. It's about building character. And that means we, as parents, have to do something that feels totally counterintuitive. We have to embrace the power of a healthy struggle. I want you to just let this one sink in for a second. Character isn't formed when life is easy. No, it's forged when we face a challenge, we work through it, and we discover our own strength on the other side of it. A healthy struggle is a gift. And here is the trap we all fall into as loving parents. Our instinct is to rescue them, to fix everything for them. But when we do too much for our kids, we're actually building our own self-esteem by robbing them of the chance to build theirs. So when your child says, I'm bored, instead of jumping in with a list of ideas, try saying, that's interesting. I wonder what you're going to do about that. It puts the ownership right back on them. And what happens is you create this amazing upward spiral. Overcoming that healthy struggle builds real capability.
That new skill fosters genuine confidence, not from empty praise, but from competence they've actually earned. And a truly confident kid, they're inspired to go out and create even more value. It's a beautiful cycle of growth.
So, what's the long-term payoff for all this? It's giving your child an internal framework for success and fulfillment that will serve them their entire life, long after they've moved out of your house. Just picture this for a second. The kid with the consumer mindset wants to go to the movies and just sees you as the bank. But now imagine a different teenager. They want a new video game, but instead of just asking for it, they map out a plan: 3 action gigs and 1 brain gig. They earn the money, track it, and then make the purchase themselves. Which one feels a deeper sense of pride and ownership? Which one is better prepared for the real world? The answer is pretty obvious, isn't it? So as you're building the system, here are some rapid-fire tips you can start using right away. Use their earnings to have real conversations. Talk about needs versus wants. Teach them delayed gratification by helping them save up for a bigger goal. Let them feel the sting of an impulsive purchase versus the reward of a planned one. As they get older, explain the difference between saving, which is about safety, and investing, which helps their money actually grow. These aren't lectures, they're life lessons learned with their own hard-earned money. And ultimately, this is the goal. Not just a financially smart kid, but a child who looks at the world with a sense of agency and wonder. A young adult who knows, deep in their bones, that they have the power to solve problems, contribute in a meaningful way, and shape their own destiny. So here's the most important point. An inheritance is what you leave to your children. A heritage is what you build in them. We are talking about a legacy of resilience, of capability, of character. And that is a fortune that can never be lost or squandered or taxed away. So I'll just leave you with this simple, actionable thought. You don't need a massive family overhaul tonight. It can start small. What's just one conversation you can have this week to plant that seed of value creation in your home? Because that is how you truly live rich and leave rich.